Dear students, in this lecture we shall discuss about the device pixel ratio. The device pixel ratio is the ratio between physical and logical pixel. Before discussion about the physical and logical pixel, we need to understand about the pixel. What is pixel? A pixel is simply the individual point of color on a digital image. A pixel does not have a particular size. It is an abstract representation of a specific coordinate like a point on a map. Pixel is used to describe the number of discrete points that can be captured by digital camera, and because most camera can actually recognize millions of points, the term megapixel is used to shorten the number of zeros needed. Now we need to understand what is difference between physical and logical pixel. What is physical pixel? The actual number of pixels that mobile or computer device sports. For example, physical pixel size of iPhone 6 Plus is 1080 steric 1920 pixels. Logical pixel device independent pixel are called logical pixel. For example, one logical pixel may be equal to two or more physical pixel in digital image. The device pixel ratio. The device pixel ratio is the ratio between physical pixel and logical pixels. For instance, the iPhone 4 and iPhone 4S report a device pixel ratio of 2 because the physical linear resolution is double the logical resolution. Physical resolution is 960 cross 640 and logical resolution is equal to 480 cross 320. Other devices report different device pixel ratio, including non-integers ones. For example, the Nokia Lumia 1020 report 1.667, the Samsung Galaxy S4 reports 3, and the Apple iPhone 6 Plus report 2.46. But this does not change anything in principle, as you should never design for any one specific device. Here we shall discuss about the device pixel ratio based on two different devices. As you can watch, there are two devices. One is Nexus 7 tablet and other is Galaxy S4. The Nexus 7 tablet is only contains 800 pixel wide. Wide mean width. The Galaxy S4 phones is actually 1080 pixel in width. Both are in same dimensions. Even though the S4 has more pixel, it is somehow turning up as a phone. Why is this? The answer exists in a little bit of magic called device pixel ratio, and the fact that once again the web platform is lying to you. The device pixel ratio is the ratio between device independent pixel and the actual physical pixel on the screen. In the next slide you can see different devices and the ratio, device pixel ratio between them. In this slide you can see different devices with different device pixel ratio. As you can see, Nexus 7 has device pixel ratio 1.3. Similarly, iPhone 5 has device pixel ratio only 2, and Chromebook Pixel has device pixel ratio 2. Nexus 4 also has 2, and Galaxy S4 has device pixel ratio 3. It means different types of devices has different device pixel ratio. Dear students, today we shall discuss about the mobile device pixels. Mobile devices not only have different number of actual pixels, but they fit very different number of pixels into each inch of the screen real estate. As you can see in this slide, physical pixel ratio and logical pixel. In the next slide, we look at the number of device independent pixel per inch. As Nexus 7 has 166 and iPhone 5 has 163, while Chromebook has 119.5, Nexus has 160 and Galaxy S4 has 147. If you will note that almost all the mobile devices are very close to 160 device independent pixels per inch. This makes layout design much easier for us. The device pixel ratio gives you a clue to how high resolution the screen really is. In the next slide, you can also see device pixel ratio in media queries. Device pixel ratio in media queries to control properties like background image. Dear students, today we shall discuss about the image quality on responsive web page. Web applications need to deliver good image quality across a broad range of devices, but they need to do so at a minimum cost. Removing the default zoom. If you have used to browsing the web on a smartphone, you will notice how websites are scaled out to fully display within the screen. When you get into building a responsive mobile design, the auto zoom can really mess up your layout elements, especially images and navigation content may appear small or too large in your layout. There is a special meta tag you can append into the document header which resets this in most Android and iPhone devices. As you can see, meta tag. This is known as the viewport meta tag, which sets up some custom variables within the contents. Apple has a documentation page regarding a few other meta tags you should look into, although these are geared specifically toward websites on iOS. The initial scale value is important as this defaults your website to a full 100% zoom. Dear students, today we shall discuss about the difference in image quality. Images are important facet of practically every website. Mobile users may not be looking to stream videos, but photos are a whole different story. These are also the biggest problem when it comes to layouts breaking out of the box model. The standard rule for CSS is to apply a maximum width property to all images. Since they will always be set at 100%, you will never notice distortions. When the user resizes their browser window smaller than your image, it will automatically readjust to 100% width scale down. The problem is that Internet Explorer can't understand this property, so you will need to put together an Internet Explorer specific style sheet using width 100%. When we render images to the screen, a pixel layout dimension may well not equal to pixel in real device terms. Here we have the same page on two different devices. But even though the image is approximate same size on both devices, this image only needs less than half the pixel of this image to be rendered at 1:1. Rendering an image at 1 to 1 gives the best quality. 10. But even more important, you don't want to be pushing a lot more bits down with the network than the device can use. And you don't want to have poor image quality because you are not pushing anywhere near enough high resolution image either. Dear student, today our topic is beautiful images and low bandwidth. There should be our goal to make image as beautiful as they can using as little bandwidth as possible. No, the last point is very critical. Network bandwidth is most assuredly not free. We have to purchase from different mobile companies. If we did not care about bandwidth, we could just serve massively large images all the time. But a full screen image for a Chromebook Pixel is 4.1 megapixel, whereas on a Nexus 4 it is only 0.9 megapixel. The iPhone 5 screen has 0.7 megapixel. The best size for images is very different on each of these devices. Different devices have different display density. Some of them can make use of lot of pixels. Some of them can't do. In a sense, what you need to do is to produce contents that can be standard definition. Dear student, today we shall discuss about the producing different quality contents. Different devices have different display densities. Some of them can make use of pixel and some of them can't. We know that the browser is responsible for rasterizing it, so it is probably due at the native resolution of the screen. If we can effectively use vector graphics like scalable vector graphics or a canvas to draw our graphics, we should get better result. What is SVG? SVG stands for Scalable Vector Graphics. SVG is used to define graphics for the web. The HTML tag element for SVG is as given. The HTML SVG element introduced in HTML5 is a container for SVG graphic. SVG has several methods for drawing paths, boxes, circle, text and graphic image. Here is an example of using SVG, where we draw a circle whose x and y coordinates are 50 and radius is 40. As you can see the output of the set tag. What is HTML canvas? The HTML canvas element is used to draw graphics on the fly via scripting, usually JavaScript. The canvas element is only a container for graphics. You must use a script to actually draw the graphics. Canvas has several methods for drawing paths, boxes, circles, text and adding images. Here is the canvas element is given in this slide, where we draw a box whose width is 200 and height is 100. As you can see the output, if your browser is not supporting canvas, then you can get the message your browser is not supporting the HTML5 content. Here is the comparison of SVG and Canvas. Canvas are resolution dependent while SVG resolution independent. Canvas no support for event handlers, whereas SVG support for event handlers. Poor text rendering capabilities, best suited for application with large rendering areas like Google Maps. You can save the resulting image as .png or JPG extension. Slow rendering, if complex, anything that used to DOM a lot will be slow. Canvas is well suited for graphic intensive game, while SVG is not suited for game application. Dear student, today our topic is large area and low quality images. Let's presume we really need a raster images because some images can't be represented well by vector drawing. This is a 21 megapixel photo of cat. Obviously, we properly don't need that resolution pushed down to a mobile devices. If we just writing a blog post about this cat, so what should we do with this image to deliver it to different devices? Our first option is to kind of alternate. We can always deliver a high resolution but low quality encoding everywhere. That is, given this same image to all devices. That is a high resolution. A 2x images for example, but lower the quality in the JPEG encoder to 20 rather than 90. In many cases we can deliver high resolution but highly compressed images. It does come at a cost. The browser also needs to spend some time decompressing the image, and on a 1x device it needs to scale the image by 50% to fit into the available pixels. We can also start to see some colors and some gradient using this approach. Lower pixel count devices will get a bigger images than they need, but not too much more data since it is low quality. In higher pixel count devices we shall get the right size, although they will get a slightly lower quality image than they would normally want. This option is not great, but it is definitely better than only serving low pixel count or serving only high pixel count to all devices. Dear student, today we shall discuss about the right selection of quality image in our mobile devices. Using a high resolution image to every device is not proper solution. Now we shall discuss about what are the possible options for the right selection of quality image. First one, should we use a low quality source image, replace it with JavaScript? The second, should we expect the server to give us the proper pixel density image magically? Or third one is, should we make several copies of the image and conditionally request the right one from the client? Now we shall discuss about the first option. The first one, should we use a low quality source image, replace it with JavaScript? It is true that you could use a normal resolution image in the source and then replace it with JavaScript with the higher resolution image. When you programmatically detect the device pixel ratio greater than 1. However, this means that you would be downloading the normal image and then a high density image on all high density devices. And unfortunately, most of the current high density devices, that is where device pixel ratio is set higher to 1, like our mobile devices and tablets, where bandwidth is probably at a premium. So this is not a really good solution for any reason except the simplicity. The second option, should we expect the server to give us the proper pixel density image magically? It is possible that this will be solved on server side. For the device pixel ratio scenario, particularly by something called client hints. HTTP client hints, this specification defines a set of HTTP request header fields known as client hints that are intended to be used as input to proactive content negotiation, just as the accept header allows clients to indicate what formats they prefer. Client hints allow clients to indicate a list of a device and agent specific preferences. The available hints are current list includes DPR, device pixel ratio, width, resource width, viewport width, layout, viewport width, and downlink maximum downlink speed, request headers, and content DPR response header that is used to confirm the DPR of selected image resources. Delivering a device pixel ratio aware image. Device pixel ratio hint automates device pixel ratio based selection and enables delivery of optimal image variant without any changes in markup. For example, given the following HTML markup where the source image is img.jpg. Here we can see the HTTP client hints code. Client hints is a header sent to the server to let it know what device pixel you are rendering. Here the device pixel ratio is 2.0 and what size you are actually looking for. It uses the vary header to let it know what the version should not be reused by cache improperly. However, a client hindrance is not broadly implemented and deployed yet, and this approach would not necessarily solve everything about responsive images. However, once this approach is actually implemented broadly, it will definitely be a great tool for fixing density issues. Thus one, should we make several copies of the image and conditionally request the right one from the client? For Noto, you need to make the decisions on the client side and ask the server for the right image for your device pixel ratio. Except remember, it is not just device pixel ratio.